Father's Day, or as I like to call it, Dad's Day, is a week away from today. And if you haven't gotten him anything yet, we've got an idea for you.
Local chef and owner of La Dolce Vita, Laura Wilson, is back with us to share some specialty knives that make a great gift for Dad. I've actually thought about this idea a couple times for Dad, and you hear about the good brands.
Yes.
But what are we looking for as far as the quality of
what
the
makes
knives?
a good knife?
Okay, what makes a good knife is for how it feels in your hand and how comfortable you are. Generally, the German knives are the best knives.
Oh, okay.
And the Japanese knives are also really great knives, but for a different reason. Here's a Japanese knife. This is Damascus steel. It's laid in layers.
Okay.
And it's thin, as you see. It has a slightly different angle. I mean, you can't see the angle, but there's an angle to it. And so it's great for doing thin things like cucumbers, fish.
Thin slices.
Thin slices. But this is not a knife you want to cut nuts with.
Sure.
Oh,
Okay? Because it's so thin. So you want a German knife. Now, I think it's very interesting that American hunting knives are the #1 knives in the world. So why don't we, here's a project for somebody out there. Why don't we make the #1 culinary knives? I don't know.
Yeah,
we're known
surprising.
for our hunting knives.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So what you want is something that feels good in your hand. I happen to like Wusthof but they have several brands. But I go for the classic. I like the handle. My husband likes this giant Hinkle.
Okay.
So
is it weighted so that it's got a nice balance to it?
It's got a nice balance. For him, he likes it. I think, to me, I think it feels handle heavy, but this doesn't. So when you start, I don't think nobody really buys knife sets anymore. Well, some people do, but I don't think you need to do that.
You can buy individual.
Exactly. So what you want to start with is a paring knife.
Okay.
Which you'll use all the time.
So these are the basics, the knives you should have.
The 3 basic knives.
Okay.
So paring knife. Now this is a wide blade. I don't know if the camera can see it. And it's a narrow blade. It's just up to you. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's whatever. Of course, I have both.
Of course.
Well, you're a pro, though.
You're
you
a
have
pro.
To
I
have
can't get enough knives. And then you want a chef's knife.
Okay.
This is a 6-inch chef's knife. They go all the way to 10-inch. That's a big knife.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
6 inches for the home cook, I think.
Is that what you use for like dicing vegetables? And...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what you use. And then you want a bread knife.
Okay.
Now, if you don't ever eat homemade bread, maybe you don't need it. But you want it because you want a sawing action.
It sure
if you
comes
don't
in handy.
saw, it'll flatten it.
So something serrated like that.
That's right. And now they have really cool serrated. Like, look at that. Look at how that's serrated.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that neat?
You can see how they cut that.
So it's easier to clean.
Oh, right.
So those are your 3 knives. Then after that, you can get some fun knives. Like this is my favorite knife. It's called a tourney knife.
Okay, I see it's got a little curve to it.
Yep, Americans call it a bird's beak.
Okay.
see that?
Makes sense. Yep.
And that's great for really thin slices. It's actually invented to tourney vegetables, which is give them sides. And then this is a great knife. This is a new knife out this year, which would be great for fathers for meat. So as you see, you have a curve. You have a curve here.
Yep.
So you get a rocking action, and then you drag your meat. So if you're cutting up ribs or tenderloin, you see what I mean? Same with this knife.
Now, when it
Same
comes, go
for
ahead.
meat.
I was just going to ask, would you recommend then not anymore buying a set? I mean, would you just stick to individual and just
I
buying
would
as you need
recommend
it?
that.
Okay.
I don't think you save money because you actually get knives you don't use. Like, not many people use a boning knife.
Okay.
Actually, you could use I would use a Japanese knife or a boning knife.
Okay.
So,
What were you saying?
I was going to say, what do we do to care for some of these knives? So once you do have a knife, I see you've got like a sharpening rod here. How often do you need to do that?
Well, that's a super great question because what you want to do is, this is how you sharpen. This is like $19, and then they have ones with handles.
Okay.
They have electric ones. I don't think you need an electric one. You just pull it through like that.
Okay.
Until you don't hear a catch. This is not actually a sharpening.
So it's actually not. Okay.
No, this is a honer. This gets your tiny little extra, like, if you look at a knife, sometimes you can see a burr. You just have to look in the right light. You see a little mess up.
Okay.
That gets that off. The best thing to
okay.
do is to take this at an angle and pull it down. This you can do every day sharpening, once a month, once every 3 months. If you keep your knife straight, you keep your burrs off, you don't have to sharpen them much.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I think a lot of I sometimes think you know, the higher the price, the better quality. Do you think that's necessarily true?
I kind of do.
You do?
Kind of do.
Okay.
So give us an idea,
Okay.
if we're looking at buying some knives for Dad, you know, what can we expect to pay for a good German knife?
Knives go on sale a lot, too. Remember
Okay.
that. So I think for a knife like this, you're going to pay $50.
Oh, okay.
A knife like this, a chef's knife, you're going to pay $150, $200.
But the good news is a lot of these, I mean, they'll probably last a lifetime.
No, but they
Right.
will last a lifetime.
Right.
They absolutely will last a lifetime. They will. You see it's held with rivets, not screws. What you want to look for, you want to make sure that it's one piece of steel.
Oh,
so when
okay.
you go to Target, or not that I do love Target, but a place like that, you're not going to see generally the steel go all the way down.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want one piece of steel, and then they put this on with rivets.
Okay.
And then this is actually how you cut with a knife is how you hold it. Some people cut like that, hold it down here on this, the bolster. And then some people, I hold my knife like that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
don't hold your knife like that.
So this is really a mouthful. So we'll have this
It
video and these instructions on our website, Wayne.com. But we want to change gears a little bit here. You just opened your brand new store.
I
We went to
did.
the open house. And
In Roanoke.
In Roanoke.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was so fun to put it together.
Yeah.
And crazy and anxiety for me.
Here's some pictures, actually, you can see. That was the night that Gina and I went there for the opening. Some delicious food, of course,
Thank
and
you.
beautiful little location right on Main Street there in
Right next to the
Roanoke.
post office.
Yes. We are.
And there we are.
And you officially opened, right?
Yes,
Was it
officially
June 6th?
opened.
Yeah.
Yes.
So awesome. So you're really catering to parties, and folks come to you, right?
Yes,
Okay.
generally most people have their events in my shop
Okay.
Oh,
versus
okay.
me going out. Sometimes I do, but you know, it's so nice because then you don't have to clean your house, you don't have
Right.
to clean your kitchen,
Right,
you don't
right.
have to kennel the dog, anything. You just
And-
come and we do it all.
That's right. And one more quick mention.
Yes.
We have to get it in. Your pie. Her pie
my
was
gosh.
featured. Where?
My pie was featured in the New York Times. It
New
was
York Times.
Amazing. Now, you know how I found out about this?
How?
I didn't know, but my friend who lives in China sent me the link.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe that?
That's awesome.
Well, crazy.
Congratulations. There it is right
Congratulations.
there.
Doing big things. Beautiful
you.
pie. Oh my God, I wouldn't
You
want
need
to
to
eat that.
bring in a sample next time.
Okay, I
we'll
will.
make sure. I mean, we're really the full authorities
we're
on pie.
official.
Okay.
Thanks so much again, Laura. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it. La Dolce Vita is located at 165 South Main Street in Roanoke. You can also find more at LaDolceVitaCulinary.com. I'll have a look at your forecast coming up next.